So, yeah.
So, I had a chance to kind of go full circle with this, and honestly, I've kind of done this a few times with several customers over the many years I've been with Porsche. But I didn't want it to not give its individual credence for each individual car, because you never know, there may be something that is specific to a certain car that could be causing an issue, and I just wanted to be able to rule that out. And I did go to both my service director and to my shop foreman, and I included Chris, and we all kind of sat together, and I wanted to be sure that we were all coming together and understanding exactly what was going on. Pulled out the videos, showed the videos. When I, on my own, saw those videos, it was, spot on to what was going through just literally just a few weeks back when I was driving one of our loaners and was hearing the same type of noise and squeal. Exactly how you got. If I literally had my camera taping the whole thing, it would be the same thing. So, and I, find myself doing it for a period of time just to kind of, see, and figure out, like I was saying before. They have looked, like you mentioned, at your car a couple of times when it was here, and they've ruled out that there's any kind of a braking issue with the car. That was my main concern that I wanted to get ruled out. So there's nothing there. With regard to the squeal, unfortunately, there's nothing more that they know of that can be done to be able to eliminate that. So we've kind of exhausted all of our avenues there. I had to double check to make sure, just for any case there weren't any open campaigns with Porsche, nothing that was going to leave any stone unturned. So I wish I, unfortunately, had better news for you, but I don't with regard to being able to find some kind of a resolution with it. What I can tell you is again, what I found a remedy somewhat to it was, the manner in which, in certain situations, as it bears appropriate and you're able to do it, is to have a fluid, firm pressing of the brake. When you're driving the car, but that's not going to always be possible, right? You're going to come to a stoplight, come to a stop. You think the light's going to turn green. You take your foot off the brake a little bit, and then you see that it's not, so you press it back again. It causes a squeal. That's that light, barely tapping of the brake that goes onto the brake rotor and that air that goes in between, because it's not being pressed firm enough, basically. So as far as other avenues for you to go, you had mentioned maybe taking and trying to go down through a lemon law. You can certainly do that. I think it will definitely just fall short, because Porsche is pretty clear. They've made videos about this issue with regard to their cars and their brakes. That's out in the public. They've got it listed in the owner's manuals. It's something that even we've brought up as like dealer service departments to clients, and this has been a long age deal as far as qualms with customers, right? But in their eyes, they feel that the brake pads that they use, with the rotors they use, are what give the best performance, the best stopping distances, shortest stopping distances for their cars.
Can you explain something to me? I want to just
Sure.
Out of curiosity, can you explain to me that why has it been in the past year I brought it in 5 times for the same thing, but it took me 11,000 miles to get to this point?
Wow. So I can't speak for that because I know that you brought it in, and it's I don't know. I can't answer that question. I know that once I was brought into the fold, as far as how I needed to be able to address this with you, right? And there's going to be some times where you're giving folks good news, and there's going to be a remedy for a situation or a problem, and there's going to be some times where there aren't. And I've always been raised in that being forthcoming and honest, and treating things and people how I would want to be treated, right? So
correct.
I don't agree with why this was drawn out as long as it was. It should have been nipped in the bud. I will tell you that I've just now, here in the last month and a half, moved into the GM position.
Correct.
I've been with the dealership for 10 years. I was the general sales manager before. Our previous GM or moved on at the very beginning of March. I tried my best where I could to be able to fill the vacuum throughout that entire time up until a month and a half ago. I wish I had a better answer for you on that. That's a very, very good question, and I can tell you that, that is something that, can definitely be brought up to our service team to try and, help, better ourselves, right?
Oh, absolutely. I guess my next question is, and can you maybe answer this, if I come up there and test drive any one of your Macons, you're expecting them to make the exact same sound?
I think that a lot of them will probably do that, absolutely, yeah. 100%.
Okay, so I'm going to come up there, I'm going to drive one, I'm going to record it, we're going to drive another one, and we're going to record it, and it's going to see if it's, because man, I can't accept the fact that I can drive a bunch of other cars, even include a 911 Turbo that we own, and we don't have this problem with, but yet the one car that we have the problem with, you're saying you can't fix it. To me, in the way I look at this, and I understand about the Porsche, videos, I understand all that stuff, and that's fine, that's understandable, and that's acceptable to a point. But to me, when it comes to brakes, that's a safety issue. You're saying it works correctly. If it works correctly, it wouldn't be doing what it does, regardless of rotors, this, that. I get it. I've had a lot of high-performance cars. But to say that the car is perfectly fine is unacceptable to me. I understand where you're coming from. From your point, you're saying y'all have done everything you can do. But I think maybe you might want to look into the case of where the guy had a faulty spoiler, of all things, and he sued Porsche. It was in Wisconsin. They judged him and ordered him, gave him $26,000 or something dollars. They actually came back and awarded him $266,000. So it's not to say that you can't go against Porsche, not to say you can't limit law a car. It's just people don't, you don't want to fight. You can't do this, you can't do that because you're a small guy. Well, I'm not one that gives up. And I'm not one to sit down and go, I paid $120-something thousand for a car that sounds terrible. It didn't sound like this at 11,000 miles. It now sounds this for the last 5,000 miles, and nobody's willing to do anything for it. That's probably concern to me that something's wrong in the brakes that could cause a safety issue. When it comes to safety, that gets a lot of ears and a lot of people perked up. So I don't know what's going to happen next. So, I'm going to go ahead and, I guess at this point, y'all can't do anything is what you're saying to it. So I have no other avenue but to continue on with Porsche North America and find another dealership or do whatever I need to do in order to try to address it. One way or another, it will get addressed. And if that means I have to hire an attorney and limit law the car, then that's what I'm willing to do. And if it takes me 5 years from now to do it, I'm going to do it.
Okay. I understand. I will tell you, though, again, like I mentioned earlier in my conversation, we wanted to be sure that the safety of your brakes was not compromised in any way. And I'm attesting to the fact that when that car was brought here, we checked those items, and that is in fact the case. Okay.
And that's just like the several times that y'all checked it, and the blow-off was never hooked up right. It's been low on power. I've had to bring it in 3 times for that. Just because at the end of the day, they weren't tightening it up. They weren't putting it on there right, and it was blowing off. Unfortunately, I've worked on many cars, so I finally just said, screw it. I got in there and did it myself. And it's amazing now I don't throw codes anymore because it's actually put on right. So, you might be confident in what you're saying, but I'm pretty confident that I'm not going to sit there and listen to my brakes the way that they are. It's disturbing. To say the least, that I can, here and there, hey, man, no problem. I'll go with you all day long. It could be humidity. It could be several different things that play with that, including water, all that stuff. Okay, cool. Every once in a while, but every single time I get in that car and that car sounds like that, no, that's just not normal. I'm kind of concerned that somebody would sit here and tell me it's normal when I have sat here and watched the Porsche videos and understand where they're coming from, and I agree with it. But to say it on my car is the same situation is just not. So It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So none of my cars will come to your dealership anymore, and I'll make sure that I start posting everything I can on all the forums on what I know and what I don't know, and I'll figure out who knows something that can get me fixed or give me an attorney that's willing to go up against Porsche. One way or another, I'm just going to get resolved.
Yeah, and again, like I said, you go into Porsche North America, whatever they need to get from us as far as what we've done and what we've checked out, what we've attested to, I have no problem.
I've already made the call. I made the call to them on Saturday.
Perfect. Okay.
So I'm sure they will contact you.
I think you're going about this the right way. I mean, that's exactly how you need to go about it, because they're the manufacturer.
Oh, I agreed. Agreed. And y'all are the mechanic that works on the cars that they give you. So, I mean, you're the one that sold me the car. And unfortunately, I mean, I understand Chris was a little bit upset because my wife said what she said, but I would think that you'd have to be pretty damn deaf not to hear the stuff that we hear, and to sit there and say that's normal it's beyond stupid to me that somebody would sit here and tell me this. It's astounding. I'm just in shock. I mean, I'm really in shock. I think a lot of the people that I know that own these cars would be shocked that you're sitting here telling me this.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's.
Yeah, I mean, we're simply stating that this is not uncommon with Porsche brakes, and there's videotapes out there. That's exactly what I'm stating to you. It's not it's not common with every single car, but it is common with various models with the Porsche brakes.
Okay.
I
mean, either way, you're not going to solve my problem, is what you're saying, and I'm going to need to take it over to PCNA.
Yeah, I mean, beyond if you're wanting to, I don't know. I mean, what other remedy I could give you, right? I mean,
I don't know. I guess you can't do anything for me. I'm going to have to take it up with the manufacturer.
Yeah, let's see what they say, and they may have a remedy for you.
Okay.
Whether it's being, something monetary, or whether it's again trade assisting you out of it, or whatever it may be, they're the ones who have the power to be able to do that.
Problem is, you can't buy me that same car again.
Again, that's something that, because of what's happened, I mean, I can't buy that car as a dealer, and obviously, if they're not manufacturing it, then that's something that they can't do either, right?
Yeah. So, no, I get it. No, I mean, you can't. They don't make performance package anymore, so it is what it is. All right, man.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure you'll hear from me again.